today we plan to have this meeting. So my name is Femi. Uh, we are starting now, and we have some people that are still waiting. So as people are getting in, please, we just want to make you understand that we are the young adult arm of Deeper Life Bible Church here in Manchester, New Hampshire. So we are here today to tell you and to share information as regards to getting full scholarship here in America. And today we want to just introduce some people that are helping out with this program. We want to introduce our pastors here, Pastor Emmanuel Adekoyer. So he's a pastor in our state of New Hampshire. And also we want to introduce a pastor, regional pastor, which is Professor Dele Uni. And also we like to introduce all our facilitator, those that will be talking and those that will be answering questions here. Also want to introduce them as we go. So today we want to introduce our seminarian. So her name is Esther. So she's from New Hampshire University. Also, we have Justin here today. He's also from University of New Hampshire. We have Femi, also from University of New Hampshire, and we have Gift, also from University of New Hampshire. We have Victor, also from Tufts University. So, and all the people that I can't mention their names right now, but as we follow us, as we join us in this program, we'll be getting know, and then you get to know them. Also, we want to just let you know that this harm we are not affiliated to any organization. We are not affiliated to any embassy. We are not affiliated to any visa processing, whatever. So we're just here to give information, to help you out, to channel you through so that you can get a full fund. And we are not sponsoring, please, but we're here to mentor, to give you the right information so that you can have the right resources that you need. And also want to let you know who we are, like as introduce ourselves to you. We are the adult arm of Deeper Life Bible Church, young adults of Deeper Life Bible Church, Manchester. So because of our time, we have some things that we want to let you know today. So the introduction is just like 5 minutes, and we are about 5 minutes now. So the webinar is going to be 35 minutes, and Esther will be handling that in the next 35 minutes. And after that, we're going to have a short message, and from there we go to the question and answer. And after that, we wrap up, and also we're going to be posting some link, like some resources, this webinar. We're going to post some PDF files so you can access like information that you need. And also we'll be posting some Google link form so that you can fill those forms, and from there we can follow through. So I hand over to Gift to Esther now as she take over the seminar. Thank you.
To everybody from here, my name is Esther Adu. I am a PhD student in the University of New Hampshire, where I currently study economics. I will be presenting to you. Brafemi, can you allow me to control the screen?
Yes, sure. I got you the control. Or just tell me to move next because of the time. We don't have much time. Just tell me next.
Move to the next, please.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm so sorry, everybody. We had a better plan for this, but things are not working the way it is. I don't know why. I don't know what has been your challenge, what has been your storyline. I don't know. Probably you have applied to schools in the US for the past few years, and you've not. You are yet to record a good news. Probably you've been offered some admits. Probably some schools with no funding. Probably you have applied to schools in UK, schools in Canada, or any other country of the world, and yet you don't have stories to tell. But I can assure you, this time around, we trust God will come through for you. That is why we have come with this information to see how we can, how this information can be of assistance to you. I will trust God to help you and carry you through in Jesus' name. Please, the next slide, please. Yeah, the main objective of this section, the first one is we want to be able to understand the importance of God and your responsibility towards your USA graduate school ambition. Of course, you're ambitious, you want to come study in the US. We want you to have an understanding after this webinar of how God can help you and your own personal responsibility in making this to work. And also, we hope that you're able to understand the steps you need to take to secure, scholarships. Can you go back, Rafemi, please? We also hope that you will be able to understand the steps you need to take to get this achieved. And also, we want you to be able to get familiar with the basic requirements. I tell you, coming to the US to study, there are certain requirements you must meet up. There are certain things you need to do. So we want you to get familiar with them. That after this seminar, you should have an idea of what you need to do, and you should also know the basic requirements, to get a visa to come study. Is a thing to apply to schools in the US. It's another thing to get a visa to come to the US. Some persons, they are so favored. They are able to get admitted, some even with funding, but they do not. They were not offered the visa to come to study in the US. So we want you to have an understanding and what the requirements you need to be able to get the admit, the funding, and also get the visa to come to the US. The next slide, please. How will this session benefit you? I'm very sure you are curious. You need to know. Please, let's go ahead. Next slide, please. The first thing you need to know, you need to do to really help you. This is a journey that needs so much, that needs to be, for this journey, you have to be very tenacious, you have to be strong-hearted. Yes, though it's a very rigorous, process, but I think the first thing you need to do is be ready to start. The question you should ask yourself is, are you ready to start this? Are you ready to do this? That's the first thing you need to answer. If your answer is yes, that's good. And for you to start this journey, the first thing you need to ensure is you need to be sure you have got back. You have got God backing you up. God is backing you up. You are enjoying the help of God and His favor. And also, you have to be highly determined and persevere. I'm telling you, journey to the US, getting the funding you want, getting your visa, you need to be highly determined and you have to persevere so much. And another thing also, I want to also know is that you have to work hard and be diligent. Diligence and hard work cannot be overemphasized in this journey. And we trust God that if you follow this, you seek the help of God, you are determined and you persevere and you work hard with much diligence. We trust to have you. We trust God to bring you here in no time at all, by God's grace. Next slide, please. Of course, to enjoy help of God, you have to have a personal relationship with God for direction, because there are thousands of schools in the US. The question is, which school do you want to apply to? Which school do you need to apply to get the desired funding? Which school? The question, somebody is saying, I can't hear anything. Please, is that true for everybody? Can you hear me all? Please, can you all hear me?
We can hear you.
We can hear you.
Yes.
We can hear you.
We can hear you.
Yes, we can hear you.
Thank you. I need to be sure.
Speak on, we can hear you.
We can hear you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I have been advised.
Thank you, we can hear you. We can hear you.
We need to be sure. The first thing is that, thank you. Please, can we unmute ourselves?
We can hear you.
Yeah. Thank you. Please, can you unmute yourself? Thank you so much.
Please unmute Sister Esther.
Sister Esther, can you hear us, please?
Yes, can you hear me now?
Yes, we are hearing you.
Yeah, thank you so much. Please kindly try and bear with me and understand with me. So one thing also, like I said, also what you need so much in this journey is the help of God. I tell you, like I said, it's rigorous, but it's easy when you enjoy the help of God. And you need to have a relationship with God and enjoy divine direction. Because the thing is this, some schools are out there, they have the grants, they have the fund for you. But some persons don't end up to apply to those schools. But the schools that don't have the funding, that probably will not fund them or doesn't fit their profile, those are the schools they apply to. And the story continues to be the same. But when you have divine direction, I tell you, it's going to be very, very easy. And also, you have to live a holy life. Not just for you to get to the US. Even when you get to the US, you need to live a holy life. That is what God wants. And also be prayerful. This journey, you cannot overemphasize the need for prayers. Please, the next slide, quickly. The next slide, please. The next slide. Prophet me, okay. Thank you so much. Yeah, I said earlier, I want to say it again. You need to be determined, highly determined. Before I take you through the requirements to get to the US, I have to first of all take you through what you need to be ready for this journey. I cannot, because if the beginning of a thing is strong, it's solid, I can tell you, no matter what, you will surely get through. That's why I have to take my time to take you through this, this fundamental, points. You have to believe that you can do it. I don't know what your story have been. You have applied to schools in UK, schools in Canada, schools in Netherlands. You have been served love letters. If I say love letters now, I mean denial letters. That's what we call love letters. You have been served denial letters. You're not happy. But the thing is that you have to believe in yourself, believe you can do it.
Who can see this transaction?
Thank you so much. I'm so sorry, everybody. People kept calling. I don't know. I guess maybe they need some information. That has been disrupting my network. Please, can you go back, please? The first thing you want to do is, Prophet, can you please go back to the previous slide? You have to believe in yourself. Believe you can do it. Also, focusing too much on your financial capability will rob you of getting it done. You might be thinking to write GRE, to write TOEFL, it's gonna be very costly. I can't afford it. I don't have sponsor. If you keep focusing on that, I'm telling you, you may not end up doing it. I had a challenge, I had same challenge when I was in Nigeria. By the grace of God, I finished from Ofamalo University in Nigeria. I had this serious financial challenge. It was so difficult. I couldn't afford GRE. And then I was like, okay, when I get the money, I will write, I will do this. I tell you, it was the point I told myself, I will focus less on my financial, on my parents' financial situation. I'll focus on what I can do and less on my present status. That was the beginning of breakthrough for me. So think less of your financial status. Think more of what you can do and of your goal. When you get there, surely God will make a way for you. And also, no human will do it for you except you. No human will do it for you except you. God will help you, I know, but no human, I cannot do it for you. No admin here will do it for you. We will only be here to give you guidance, teach you what to do, give you some directives, but the real act, the real execution of those things will be done by you. And I pray God will help you as you take all these steps into action in Jesus' name. The next slide, please, quickly. Of course, you have to hard work. Yeah, sorry, you have to work hard. Of course, you have to set a weekly and fortnight SMART goals, specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time-bound. Set goals that you I'm emphasizing must achieve. I need to achieve this between this and this. I need to read chapters 1 to 5 of my answer in the next 1 month. I need to do this. These are goals you must set for yourself and you must endeavor to achieve them. Please, can you still hear me? Another thing also is that You regularly evaluate yourself and never think you have done enough. Never you think. The point you think you have done enough, I'm telling you, at that point, it might be very, very difficult to forge ahead. And also, do not push it tomorrow. What you can do today. Remember, there is a timeline in this journey. By the grace of God, for people that want to come in, I believe everybody on this platform, if we work hard, it comes to pass. Coming in for 2023, that will be next year, August. Now it's time to do it. You cannot afford to do what you can do today, tomorrow, because tomorrow has its own words, has its own schedule. You don't want to do that because you don't control the time. You don't control the calendar. You don't control, application deadline. There are deadlines fixed for each of these applications. You don't want to procrastinate. And I trust God will help you in Jesus' name. The next slide, please. Now, after you are sure you are ready, you are for the help of God, you are hardworking, you are ready to persevere, you are ready to be diligent. The next thing you want to do is that you get yourself an international passport. That's the first thing you want to do. You want to come to the US and you don't have a passport, I think you are wrong. And if you're in Nigeria, 32 pages and 64 pages, they are the parent passports that they issue at the immigration office. But if you are coming for US, basically coming for your studies in US, 32 pages is okay. You don't have to go for 64 pages. So I want to believe if you don't have a passport today, from Monday, this coming Monday, I want to implore you, try your best. You don't have the money. If money will come, just let this go be more in your mind than what you don't have, than your financial incapability. Think more of what you can do. I know Nigerian situation is not easy, inflation everywhere, there's no money, there's no job. But I tell you, this journey is worth it if only you're ready to do it. So get your passports and please, in case you're not in Nigeria, probably you're in Ghana, Benin Republic, any country, African countries you may be, endeavor to find out what is applicable in your location before you know what to do. Please, next slide. Another thing I want to also emphasize is this. The next thing after you have gotten your passport, now let me emphasize this clearly. Each of these prayers I will mention, you don't have to finish one before the other. All of this can work simultaneously. If I say get the passport first, I don't mean you have to wait till you get your passport in hand before you take the next step. Of course, you are doing your passport processing, you are also doing the other thing. The next thing you want to do, probably from Monday. Don't forget, I told you, set achievable goals, set smart goals, and evaluate yourself continuously. The next thing you want to do is to what? Search for schools. Now in the US, we generally categorize schools into three. We have the ambitious schools, moderate schools, and low schools in terms of ranking. Talk about all these Ivy League stuff, Harvard, talk about MIT, talk about all those Ivy League schools that are ranked between 1 to say 50. Those are, you can call them ambitious, or 1 to 70 in terms of ranking. Those are the ambitious schools. We have the moderate schools and the low schools. I would advise you, please, in case you want to apply to 5 schools, ensure, please try. I don't want to say whereby you end up submitting your applications in schools that will not take you in. Please, to be on the safe end, I advise people to do this. If you want to apply to 5 schools, apply to 1 ambitious school, just 1. If you are so ambitious, apply to 1 ambitious schools, apply to maybe 3 moderate schools and 1 law school if you are very ambitious. Better to be on the safe end. If you really want to come to US, you really don't forget, people are also applying from China, applying from India, applying from different parts of the world. It's a very competitive process. So you want to be on the safe end. I don't discourage you to be ambitious, but you have to be sure your profile is really fitting before you take a decision. So you have the ambitious school, the moderate school, and the low school. The next thing you want to do is this. I would have loved to take you through how to search for schools, but in the next few seconds, I'll quickly say it. Assuming I want to search for probably in economics, right? Yeah, I want to apply. I want to go for my PhD in economics. Of course, go to Google. You can just say there are links to search for schools, which we will be sharing on Telegram, on our Telegram group from now. We will start to follow you up, and there are some links and sites where you can get schools. But I want to give you a general way to search for schools. Okay, PhD in chemistry. Universities offering PhD in chemistry in US. So give a list of schools. Now, assuming I am able to, I feel let me just go for University of Kentucky, for example. I check the rank. Is it moderate, ambitious, or low? Okay. The next I want to do is that I want to go to the website of University of Kentucky. So I'll put on Google. I'm going to put a PhD Chemistry University of Kentucky. It will take you straight to the websites of the departments. The next thing you want to do, I want to believe you are taking notes, please. PhD Chemistry Kentucky. As I want to go to the University of Kentucky, I'll go to the website of the departments. I will try and look for the directory of the departments. That's where they put a list of all the faculty members. Here in the US, we call them faculty members, but in Nigeria, I think they call it lecturers. So we call them faculty members. A list of them, you see their list, you see their profile. That's where you will see their specializations, their research interests, and all of that. So if you are lucky to be in a STEM-related course that require lab, maybe chemistry, physics, engineering, all those guys that deal with lab. So what you want to do is that you have to go and look for the professors that have research interests that aligns with yours. I forgot to state this. I want to believe you want to come to the US, you must have some interest in mind that you want to do. Maybe chemistry is a very broad, subject. Maybe you love organic chemistry, and under organic chemistry, you love this, and that. So you have your interest in mind already before you search. So you go to the professor's profile. Okay, this about 5 professors. You check their profile. Okay, which of them actually have interest aligning with yours? After you have gotten that, now you get the professor's email address, and after that, you send a code mail to the professor. That's for guys that are in lab-related courses. Now, for general persons, what you want to do is, of course, you can also make professors. It's good, but you want to go and check for graduate coordinators' email address. You will see it. One of the professors will surely be a coordinator for the department. Look out for graduate director or graduate coordinator. It depends. The different departments have different way of calling it. So you want to check get the email of the professor, of the graduate coordinator, of which he or she will be a professor. Then you send a mail. The mail to send to such professors, I will probably talk about it later. I will share the link with you later. Guys on Telegram, we will surely try and see how we can give you samples of emails. Next thing I want to also do is that apply only to schools showing green light for funding. It says your dad is very rich, or your mom, not your uncle, your mom or your dad, not uncle, unless they are very, very rich and they can afford, say, 30 million naira or more to sponsor you in a year, not for your program. You may not bother about funding, but if you know you are someone like me, that just trying to trust God for financial strength, all of that, you don't want to come to the US without funding. I'm telling you, it's stressful to come to the US without funding. You don't want to do it. So apply only to schools that show green lights for funding. Of course, the kind of mail I will share with you, there are ways the mail is designed so that you're able to ask them some questions that are specific. Okay, like, is there funding? Is there assistantship? Is there that? So from their response, you're able to know, okay, this school, no, it's green. This school, no, it's red. So only schools that shows green lights, that's the schools you want to follow up. So apply only to schools that show green lights for funding. Also, subscribe only to schools that fit your profile, not the one you are trying to fit in. As I am, Esther Adu, I am so ambitious. Yes, I love great things, but my brethren, you know what your profile is. Don't deceive yourself. It's not you that you have 4.3 or you have 3.5. You want to go and apply to Harvard. You don't want to do it. You don't want to do it. Or else you're ready to get love letter. So apply only to schools that fit your profile, not the one you are trying to fit in. There's always a school in the US that can fit into, that has requirements that fit into yours, not the one you are trying to fit in. There's always a school. That's how you need to find out. And trusting God, don't forget, I said earlier, you need to trust God for direction. Also, secure a professor with funding or grants before you apply. You must be sure. Don't forget those guys that have courses that relate with a lab. I told you have to seek the professor. Look for a professor that has funding. Do not apply to a school where you are not sure a professor is there that is ready to take as a student. You don't want to try it, right? Also, please, I know it's difficult, financially at the moment in Nigeria or some other African countries, but do not apply to less than 3 schools. Try no matter what. If you want to come to the US, but if you want to do, if you don't care, like works or don't work, you don't care. You may not bother. You may apply to one. But if you really want to do this thing, apply to more than 3 schools, at least 3 schools. By God's grace, during my time, I think I applied to about 11 schools. Mine is even small. I've had stories of guys applying to 20 schools. So if you really want to do this thing, you have to do it. And I trust God to help you in Jesus' name. The next slide, please. The next slide, please. Please, can you hear me at all? Okay, thank you. So now, I am a student in the University of New Hampshire. New Hampshire is located in England. In New England, we have Massachusetts, we have Connecticut, we have New Hampshire, we have Rhode Island, we have Maine, and we have Vermont. So there are some schools here that we have. There are many schools, but I just have to bring out some. We have University of New Hampshire, Southern New Hampshire University, Dartmouth University. This school, Dartmouth University, is an Ivy League school. University of Connecticut, Massachusetts, and all of this. And if you need more schools, there is a link you can follow, and more other links that we should be able to share. We should share on the Telegram Telegram group for you, so you can I'm just trying to see. And personally, I love community. There are other schools in the US you can apply to, but I really wish that you can apply to schools close to me. I want to be able to see you, relate with you. Yeah, I think I want that. But you can actually apply to other schools. We have schools in California, Ohio, schools, great schools. But if you would love to stay close to us, we think we'll be happy. And also, we're also happy for you to also apply to other schools far from us. It's not a problem. We'll be ready to help you still. The next slide, please. The next slide. Thank you. Now, don't forget, you're already posting your passport. I believe you're already posting your passport. One. Secondly, I believe you have searched for schools. And the next thing, when you're searching for schools, you also get not only the professor's email you are trying to look for, you're also trying to look for the requirement for admission. What do they require? These are things you want to look at in the departmental website. Now, if you're coming for master's or PhD, the exams you need to write is GRE or any of these tests of English test. If you're coming for bachelor's, you want to write either SAT or ACT. If you're coming for bachelor's, undergraduates. From what I had ACT is easier to pass than SAT. But please, you want to be sure that you look at for the requirements of the departments before you decide. If you're coming for bachelor's, you have to be sure if it's either ACT or SAT. So that's for folks coming for bachelor's degree in the US. Why for folks coming for PhD or masters? Please and please, GRE. If you want funding, please. If you don't mind to risk, no problem. You know, GRE. Some guys will tell you, some school they will tell you GRE is not compulsory. Well, it's true. Some people are able to make it to the US without GRE, but I don't want to risk it. Try and write it. You write GRE to make it be very competitive. Don't forget, guys are applying from China, applying from India, applying from different parts of the world. These guys are bright. And you are also bright too. You are also bright. Mind you, you are also bright. But this is one of the ways you can showcase your potentials. Please write GRE. Write GRE. If you want funding, write GRE. Also, now that's on general modes. But if you are coming for economics, coming for engineering, coming for maybe engineering and economics or all this mathematics, you cannot even play with GRE. That one is compulsory. You cannot even avoid GRE. GRE is compulsory. And please, let me give you a secret. For folks coming for economics, folks coming for engineering, please focus more on your quantitative score. Focus more on it, please. I want to share my experience with you in a few minutes, please. Personally, when I was paying for GRE, I knew it. I had issue with verbal. Verbal was a weakness for me. Each time I study, it's not working. I tried to memorize almost 1,000 vocabulary words. Like then I could tell me words, I'll tell you the meaning, but it was not working. Let me do practice tests. I always have low score. But I got to know that no, if I'm coming from economics, I need to focus more on my quantitative score. That's what they really want to see. Though your aggregate is important, but they want to see more of your quantitative score. I just decided to focus more on my quantitative because I knew Baba is not ready to cooperate with me. By the grace of God, I had my quant. It was okay. And God showed me mercy. And here I am. So please, GRE for PhD or masters, ACT or SAT for bachelor's and a test of English. Of course, you want to prove that you are proficient in English. TOEFL, IELTS, or Duolingo. Next slide, please.
Please, you're having 15 more minutes because of our time.
Please, next slide. I'm trying to rush up. Thank you. So GRE, there are two kinds of GRE. GRE is a graduate record exam. We have the general test or subject test. Please, next slide. However, most schools take general test. Next slide, please. Okay, for GRE has 3 sections: the analytical writing section, verbal section, quantitative section. Verbal is 160, quantitative is 160, while analytical writing is on a scale of 1 to 6. Please, if you can try and score at least 4 out of 6. Try. Please, can you please bring up the screen again? Thank you. Oh, verbal 160.
Sorry, let me make this quick announcement. Someone is just trying to write on the screen. Please, we just wanted to behave yourself in order, in a good manner. Please, we don't want anyone to keep writing on the screen. That's why I stopped sharing to reshare it again. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So the next slide, please. Before you go to the next slide, can you please go back? I want to show my people something. Thank you. There's a link here. We should be able to make this slide available to everybody. We should be able to. There's a link here. If you follow the link, you will get some materials that are, it's a Google Drive. You get some materials there. Just download those books and read for your GRE. Next slide, please. Okay, now for your quantitative under GRE, there are 4 sections as you have it on the screen: arithmetic, algebra, geometry, and analysis. These are books that I recommend for quantitative. Manhattan is the best. Don't read Manhattan for verbal, please. Manhattan, their strength lies in quantitative. Then GRE official guide and all these books, you should be able to find them on the link. The next slide, please, for quantitative. Why for verbal? Sentence equivalence and text completion. Please and please, if you will not read anything for your verbal, please, I'm begging you, read KMF. Both reading comprehension and this 1,300 practice questions. Try and read them. Then you have to download on your phone Merriam-Webster dictionary. You use them to check out for words and focus on this official GRE book. Please, I'm coming. And also, please, I want to say something very important. This book is called Kaplan. The 7th chapter of Kaplan. It's focusing on comprehensive reading comprehension. Try and read this 7th chapter of Kaplan before you take up KMF reading comprehension. This Kaplan chapter 7 will give you it kind of prepare you, it kind of build you a little before you start practicing questions under KMF. So chapter 7 of Kaplan, you are free to read everything, but I recommend to people the 7th chapter of Kaplan. Then you can start your KMF. Please, the next slide, please. Now, analytical writing. Analytical writing on your exam day is about 4 hours exam, almost 4 hours exam. It's very rigorous, but by the grace of God, it's easy if you work hard and you trust God. Of course, for your analytical writing, you type in the exam. It tries to test your critical thinking and analytical writing skills. So the issue essay and the argument essay. So there's a video on Greg Maths. I think it should be on the link, but if it's not on the link, we should be able to share on Telegram with you. That video is in fact, it worked for me personally. Please, you can try and watch the video. Next slide, please. Now, for folks coming for bachelor's, undergraduate study in the US, of course, like I said earlier, SAT or ACT. Please and please, you want to be sure you have a good score to make you competitive. I tell you, people come to the US to study bachelor's degree, and they are funding. I'm telling you, they are funding. Of course, graduate students tend to get more than bachelor's, but you can come for bachelor's and get funding if you do the right thing and God actually, and if you're able to enjoy the help of God, you should get some funding. Next slide, please. Now for TOEFL, please. TOEFL is for test of English. You have 3 exams. three bodies. We have TOEFL, we have IELTS, and we have Duolingo. Each of these three is good for USA, for US schools. But be very sure of Duolingo. Not all schools have said Duolingo is the cheapest of the three. Maybe the easiest, maybe, but it's the cheapest. I'm certain of that. I wrote TOEFL personally. Be sure if the school you want to apply to is taking Duolingo. Be sure before you write Duolingo. But TOEFL is generally acceptable in all the US schools and IELTS. But IELTS can also, but I think most schools in UK and Canada, I don't think they accept TOEFL, but they accept IELTS. If you're coming for, if you really want funding, please, your TOEFL, try and target 95 to 110. Try. Most schools, they will tell you 79, 80 is the minimum. But don't forget, your goal is not to get the minimum. If you want to come here and get some funding opportunity, you are trying to be competitive. You're trying to, it's like a competition. You're trying to, maybe in a PhD class, they want to take just 6 students and 300 are applying. So what will you do? How do you want to prove to them that of all these 300 guys, I'm the best? So you have to prove yourself. So please, God will help you. Next slide, please. Now, your applications. I want to believe by now you have started pressing your passports. And don't forget, your passport is like the ID. You need to write your GRE and your TOEFL. That's the ID you need. That's the ID to write your GRE and TOEFL. I want to believe by now you have gotten your passport. I want to believe by now you have searched for schools. You know the requirements. You know which school to apply to. Yes. Now you start to apply to those schools. Now most schools, what they require your CV. Now, please, I want to state this. Very, very important. Some people, they get CV sample from people, right? They get CV sample maybe from their friends or something. And some people, they are so funny. I would say they are lazy. They will just copy the CV verbatim. A brother told me a story of 2 persons that applied to the same school. You see, maybe identical CV or SOP. And the guy coordinator mailed one of them that, I found that 2 persons in this cohort that applied for this cohort have identical material for the application, and both of them were denied. What in US will never take. US, they don't like cheats. They don't like people to cheat their way through things. They like you to, even if I tell you, even when you get to the US, if you don't know something, tell them you don't know it, then you cheat. I read online about I need to emphasize this, it's very, very important. I read online of a case of somebody writing a professor, this lab people, that, okay, I can do this, I can do that, I can use this machine. The professor replied the person and said, as far as I know, Nigeria do not have this machine. So how do you want to prove to me that you know how to use it? I'm very sure even if the professor has some funding, this person will not get the funding because the person has proven himself to be what? Be deceitful, be sincere, but package yourself well. Your CV is very important. Please, let somebody proofread for you. Please. You can't change your GRE. You can't change your CGPA. You've gone to school, you have graded, you have your GPA, maybe 4.0, maybe 3.5. You can't change it. Good. But you can actually influence your CV. That's how did you write it? You can influence it. You can influence your SOP. It depends on how you package yourself. But the ones you cannot influence, like your CGPA, that one is gone. You cannot influence it again. But your CV is very key. This is what we speak for you. This is what we tell them. I am the best person in this course. Please try your best. Write it. Some people, I don't want to, I've had stories. Some people, you see what they will write for you as SOP. You'll be like, what is this one? Is this composition or what is this?
All right, you have 5 more minutes, please.
Letters of recommendation. Be very sure the person writing for your letters for you. Be very sure there are people that will write something good for you. Not someone that will write to you. You are hardworking. Esther is hardworking. Esther is intelligent. No, they don't want to see that. They want to see real cases where Esther has demonstrated, skills, has demonstrated some good qualities. These are what they want to see. Not that this person is hardworking. Please be sure the person that is writing for you. Be sure it's someone that will write something good, something qualitative for you. Also, your official transcript, you want to get your score reports. And also, let me state this. In the US, we have 2 major, application cycle. We have the fall and the spring. So August, guys, they resume in August. I'm sorry, fall resume in August, spring resume in January. If you want to come in and get funding for fall, try and apply by December. Latest, maybe January 5 or something. Please, most schools, they are priority deadline, and also we have priority and regular deadline. Most schools, they put on their websites priority and regular deadline. Try and confirm from your credit coordinator. Be sure you don't apply beyond priority deadline, because it's better you have an average profile and you apply before the priority deadline than you have the best profile and you apply you apply for the priority deadline. They will consider the person average profile that submitted the application early than the person that has a better profile that's what submitted late. So application fee waiver. Now, by the grace of God, some schools they give us waiver code. Why some schools don't give waiver code, but they organize some webinars and some conferences and all of that. So that they give guys that attend, they give them some waivers for application. Towards October, September, October, November, some schools will be releasing those webinars. Please try and look out for them. If you're on Telegram, please, if you know of anyone, please share with other people on the Telegram page, please, so that if at all everybody can try and apply to attend those webinars. From there, they get the code. You don't have to pay. These are one of the ways you can boycott this expensive process. Also, West evaluation. Now, West evaluation, that's what evaluations education service. Now, these are guys that evaluate your transcripts. If you don't have strong GPA, strong CGPA, try and use West. West in a way will help you to boost and improve your package, your CGPA. But if you have good CGPA, you don't need to use West. West is quite expensive. I think it's almost $200. You can avoid it. Some schools will tell you they need West. If you have a good CGPA, why apply to those schools that require West? Why? Why not look for other schools? So, but if you don't have good CGPA, you want to try West, please, to improve your profile. The next slide, please, quickly. And also, after you have submitted your application, don't forget, priority deadline is important. And most schools give out funding during fall, most schools. Now, after you submitted your applications, now you follow up. Don't just apply and, you are somebody that doesn't care about your email again. You don't do that. That is why you should even disclose. In fact, your phone should be your closest friend after your Bible. Like, you are close to your phone. Like, you are checking is there any mail. You're also mailing your connector to say, okay, Professor A, this one, when is that? Yeah, I'm not saying you should disturb them too much. Like, just follow up prayerfully. And also, anxiety may crop in, but relax. Of course, you'll be anxious. You don't know what is coming up, but just relax. And also, get ready for interviews. Most possibly, they might call you for interviews. Get ready for interviews. The next slide, please. Quickly. Also, by the grace of God, I believe God will help you. You get your letter of funding and admit. In the case where you have multiple offers, now you can only attend one school. Maybe you're able to get 5 offers or 3 offers, or maybe 2. You need to attend just one. That means you have to decline the rest and accept to just one. Now, accept offers carefully and prayerfully in case of multiple opportunities. Then do not be in a rush to decline. Do not be in a rush, because maybe 5 schools gave you offer, or maybe let me say you applied to maybe 3 schools, and the first school gave you offer, and you felt, I don't really like this school. Let me decline it. The other school will give me. You can't be too sure. So don't be in a rush to decline an offer. I set the deadline to decide, maybe accepting or declining knocks. That's when you should decide on what to do. Please, and do not be too quick to conclude. Some get funding in June. Normal schools, maybe by February, March, they give out offers, but some don't even give offer. Or maybe somebody end up declining their offer and they want to give out to someone else. And maybe you just felt you have given up, you have lost hope, you don't even check your mails again. And fortunately, they just tell you, oh, hey, Toby, there's an offer for you. Do we like to accept it? So don't give up. Please don't be to conclude that there's no hope. Some get funding in June. Yeah. Then you can get an on-campus job, even if you have a deficit. Maybe you are not able to get a full funding. You can also get some on-campus job. So there is no impossibility except the one you create. I just got to help you. Please, the next slide, please, quickly. Next slide. Also, after you have accepted, okay, you know the school you want to go to. You want to go to University of Kentucky out of other schools that gave you offer, maybe. The next thing you want to do is to apply for your I-20 and they'll get your visa. Of course, try and submit the necessary documents they will require. Please try and also apply early. Getting dates for interview is another trouble. It can be so rigorous. So you want to quickly apply for your I-20 on time. Immediately you get your offer and you are sure you have made your decision. Why am I not too quick to decline or accept? But immediately you accept or decline, you know where you're going. Immediately apply for your I-20. Don't delay. Immediately apply and start the process. Also, carefully check all the information on your I-20. Detecting an error too late is dangerous. I had a story of somebody who applied maybe for PhD or masters, but on the I-20 they wrote bachelor's. Person did not
Please,
know.
your time is up, please, because
Please give me just 2 minutes. I'm almost done. Please, I'm almost done. The person did not know they put bachelor's on the I-20 on the person got to the embassy. When the visa officer checked and said, "You are telling me PhD, how come I'm saying bachelor's?" The person was denied the visa. Please be very sure you are checking your documents. The next slide. The next slide. Okay. After you have gotten your visa, okay, no, the price, you pay your visa fee, you pay your service fee, you fill your DS-160 carefully and diligently. If possible, let somebody help you to proofread, possibly. Schedule your appointments. Prepare for your interview. You can't do too much of mock interview. Please, you can't do too much. Prepare very well. And also, attend your interview early. Don't go late. Even if I tell you your interview time is 11, there's no crime if you go by 7 p.m. I'm sorry, 7 a.m. There's no crime. Also, by God's grace to get your visa. The next slide. The next slide, please. Okay, for your flights, can you go back, please? Can you go back? For your flight, after I've gotten your visa, by God's grace, we trust God will bring you this coming fall. We trust God to bring you. That's our goal. God helping us. Book your flight early. The more you delay in booking your flights, of course, you know it will keep increasing. Understand your itinerary carefully. As I missed my flight when I was going to the US. I missed my flight. That was because I did not understand my itinerary carefully. I did not. I missed my flight. I had to book another flight. That was another cost. It was not funny at all. So that's my personal experience. Please understand your itinerary carefully. Understand what the airline is approved before you pack. Some people end up packing, buying things, buying that, only to get to the airports and they tell them no. So, and some persons, they pack something, they're able to skate through the airport in their own country. But along the journey, it happened to me. Nigeria, some of my stuffs were not disapproved. I got to London. They had to seize them. So it was so painful. But what do I do? So understand what the airline is approved before you pack. The next slide. So by God's grace, we are ready to welcome you to the US. You tell us, hello, I'm at the airport. That one. So compose yourself at the point of entry when you get to the US. Please do that. Because I know some of you are in this webinar, you are probably getting funding. And maybe you already got your visa. This might be helpful. Bring enough food stuff with you. If you think you may not cope with American food stuff, but check the weight limits for your flights. Thank God for Pastor Dekoya. He has been very helpful. If not, I'm not the American food person, so I don't know how I would have coped. But if you're coming, please come with enough American food stuff from your own country, in case you feel you may not be able to cope with American food stuff. And also, I sincerely hope to see you here soon by the grace of God. I know you can, and you will do it. I know. And I pray for you that God will bring you here. We can't wait to see you. We can't wait to have you. We can't wait to see you in the mall, see you in the church, see you in the class, see you in UNH, see you in Harvard, see you in the US. And I trust God to help you. The next slide. I want to believe you have been helped. Next slide, please. I want to believe you have been, you have been encouraged. Now, to conclude my section, I want to compare something. Typically, PhD in Nigeria, PhD in US. Of course, I want to give you the difference so you can understand better. The system of education in Nigeria, of course, we know currently now. I think
places that we have to stop you now. Please,
you have to pay your tuition, manage to survive, no remuneration for your study and quality of education. But in the US here, if you work hard, you can know your graduation date at the beginning.
Can you hear us? Please, we have to stop everything.
Thank you so much, everybody. I appreciate, even though it was so rough at the beginning, but thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. We'll make this slide available on the Telegram group, and also we are recording this webinar, and we will post it to our YouTube channel, which is Deeper Life Bible Church, Manchester, New Hampshire. So we move into the question and answer because we have little time to spend in that. So I'll stop sharing now, and while I invite the people with questions, and we have Bro Justin here, we have Bro Femi, we have Bro Sister Gift, and people that want to ask questions. So please feel free to ask a question, and We can also follow you through, if you can ask a question on Telegram too. So because we have limited time. Thank you.
Any question? Is there any question on the chat in the chat box?
Right. Let me just look at those questions that are already here.
I think some hands are raised up. If you can quickly, maybe
So please unmute yourself, and if you can unmute yourself here, unmute yourself and ask a question, please. A lot of hands are raised up. I don't know, maybe they can unmute themselves. Well, let me just try to see God's testimony. Let me see, maybe you can mute yourself.
Where's Brother Justin and Sister Gift and Brother?
Let me please send your message, please. Let me read out some messages. So thank you very much, man. Can you please share the light on transfer program? Anybody want to answer that? Please, since that you still have the opportunity of sending your unmute yourself, you can just send your message on the chat room. Then we can take it from there.
Is Brother Justin there?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm here. We're all here. We're all here.
Okay.
So now let me read the first question. The first question is maybe not the first question, but this is the question I see. Thank you very much, Mark. Can you please shed more light on transfer of program? Or Justin, are you there? Can you answer that question?
So the question is a little bit not specific. Yeah, it's not specific. So
I think it's trying to ask about transfer from school A to school B within the US, or transfer from a school in Nigeria to a school in the US. Am I correct?
It to be specific, so I can answer.
Yeah, I don't really know that. What is if you're talking about transferring in the US, there are procedures to go about that, and there are some information you should know. First and foremost, does your school, because there's always this idea you can always transfer. But that's not always true. Sometimes some schools will not allow you to do that, and even some of the packages you have in your previous school may not have them in the school you are going. So there are a lot of information you need to find out when you're talking about transferring from one school to another. So if that's the case, if I assume the person talking about transferring from one school to another in the US, it's possible, and people do it a lot. But you have to find out, number one, your program, is it allowed? Would they release you from your parent school to the school you want to go to? Then what are your chances in the school you want to go to in terms of the benefits you have or you may have? If you are a graduate student or undergraduate, would there be funding opportunities for you and stuff like that? So those are things you should keep in mind when doing that.
Next question, sir.
I was trying to look at those questions. So if you see any questions you want to chat, please feel free to just answer those questions. I'm just reading from the beginning so I can see which one because of.
Yes, but Justin, somebody asked this: can one from accounting or finance write GMAS rather than GRE?
The truth is that I can't tell you yes or no. You have all those information on the website. Accounting people, marketing, MBA, sometimes they require GMAT, but I wouldn't say authoritatively is the GMAT you write. You get those information on the school website, what they actually require. But I know the guys from MBA, sometimes if the school requires such a standardized exam, they don't write GRE, it's GMAT, that's MBA. But for accounting, please make sure you go through the school website to get the relevant information. Thank you.
Okay, Bro Femi. Is Bro Femi there?
Yes, I'm Bro Femi. The other Bro Femi, right?
Femi Olugbo. Okay, bro Justin, please. There's a question here. Someone is asking, when do we do GRE or TOEFL exams? It does not need to be done again if one does well. Like, he's trying to ask if you have to do the GRE or the TOEFL again.
Sorry, I didn't get the question. Is it that the person has written before or something?
Maybe something like that. It's not so clear. It's not lucid.
Well, if you've written before, GRE, in fact, most of the standardized exam, it's like a rolling exam. It's continuous. You can get a result today, and if you're not satisfied, you can easily apply, the next week. So it's an exam you can write. It's not like JAM, like you have to wait like 1 year. No, it's an exam you can write between months, depending on how prepared you are. So I don't really know exactly what the person is asked, but if I may understand.
Okay, and I think GRE takes 5 years, and TOEFL is 2 years. After 5 years for GRE, you can't use the score again, no matter how good it is. And after 2 years for TOEFL, you can't use TOEFL again. Sister Gift, somebody is asking. I want to ask for the minimum CGPA that you need to have not to go through WES. Sister Gift, are you there?
The US is on a 4.0 scale, and most times the minimum they require is 3.0. So if your CGPA is high on a 5.0 scale, which is Nigerian, most Nigerian schools use, you don't need to worry about that. I didn't do that. But if your CGPA is on a borderline, like maybe you have a 2.2 or something, WES can help you bring it up to the 3.0 mark for the US.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Please, do we need to do GRE and IELTS together or just one? Bro Justin, Sister Gift, Bro Femi.
Let me see if I can answer that question.
Okay.
Yeah, this is Victor speaking. I attend TOEFL
Okay,
University.
Bro Victor, wow, welcome.
So this is what I would say. The requirements vary for different schools. So like TOEFL, as of the year I was admitted, I had TOEFL, but they didn't require it. But I would still say that you should write both GRE and TOEFL. Not every school will require it, but more of your schools will require those exams. So it's better to have it and not need it than to need it and not have it. So, and I would recommend you go for TOEFL over IELTS. So both of them are both of them are acceptable, but TOEFL is organized by the ETS, Educational Testing Service, the same company that organizes the GRE. And I think it's more widely accepted in America. I think IELTS is a lot more applicable in the UK and maybe Canada. But of course, yeah. So I would say right, Jared.
Thank you, sir. Somebody is asking here, is there a possibility for HND holders with additional PGD certificates? Please, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, somebody asked there, is there opportunity for HND holders? I think it should be in Nigeria. For HND holders with additional PGD certificates.
Can I say something?
Go ahead, bro. Okay, bro. Felix.
Yeah, pretty cool. You don't have to worry about yourself with the degree you come up with. The best way is to do WES evaluation. Once you do WES will adjust it to your US standard of evaluation. Then you can pursue any degree you want to pursue. So it's just in Nigeria we have the HND, we have the ND, and whatsoever. If you want to go for a master's or PhD, do WES if you think your degree will not really connect with what we have in the US. So you can do WES and make a change.
Okay, thank you. Bro Victor, please, there's a question here. Is there age limits to application in US? Is there age limits to application in US?
I don't think so. I don't think there's an age limit.
Yeah, I don't think so. So far, you are capable. Sister Gift, are you there? Are you giving us? Okay.
No, I'm not saying anything.
Okay. I think that
Okay, can I pick a question? I'm seeing tons of questions. I'll just be picking randomly. So somebody is asking, how do you know a school that has funding? I think this was addressed in the webinar. And most times, it's not just about the schools. To have a supervisor, like a PI, we call them PIs, that's principal investigators, especially for those of us in STEM, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. So it's not just about knowing if the school has funding. It's about knowing if you have a particular PI who has funding and has a space in his or her lab to take you. So the school might not just have the funding, but there's a supervisor, like a faculty member, like you say, lecturer, who got a grant. Now in the US, a lot of lecturers have grants, and when they have a grant, they need students to come execute the projects. So if you have the desire to pursue a particular project or whatever, rather than just reaching out to the school alone, checking the school website, this was really trashed in the slides. Reach out to the supervisors themselves. They are the ones that will tell you that they have funding or they do not have funding. So I think that summarizes it.
Thank you. Somebody is asking here, for bachelors, is there age limits? I will say yes and I will say no. To get admits for bachelors, there's no age limit. But when you get to the embassy, there might be a problem. Because when the VO is asking you, how old are you? And you're telling them you are 25 years old, going for bachelors, the VO will probably ask you, what have you been doing since you graduated from high school? I mean, that's secondary school till now. And that doesn't mean you will not get the visa, but I think you should be ready to provide something very, very reasonable and convincing. Please, somebody else can add to that. Any other person? Start give.
Yeah, my name is Femi. Sorry, I've been trying to unmute my mic for like some time. So you actually said the right thing, because the problem with applying for bachelor's is on your transcript or on your profile, you probably have a time when you graduated high school. And if the gap is too wide, it will seem as if probably you're not going for the program. You just want to leave Nigeria, you want to leave your country. And you have to provide a reasonable answer to show what you've been doing during the time when you leave high school to the time you are just planning to attend a program. And it must somehow relate to what you're trying to study as well. So it's always a problem for people going for undergrad.
Somebody asked this question, Brofema, please answer the same question. Can I apply and get funding for bachelor's arts courses like English, Mass Comm?
For bachelor's degree,
English,
most of the time, yes, they do have funding, because it's a bit different from what happens in grad school. For undergraduate degree, what people usually get is scholarship. It can be merit-based, because in the US, there are different types of scholarship. There's a diversity, there's merit-based scholarship that is based on your SAT score and your profile and overall. And they have scholarship for sports, which I'm not sure if international students qualify for during their first year. So I don't really have a lot of knowledge about that, but they do have merit scholarship, and it might or might not cover the whole cost of attendance.
Yeah, thank you so much. And I can tell you, there's no course you studied. I don't know the course. I'm telling you, if you get to the US, if you get the right spot, right direction, there is a school in the US that is ready to fund your studies, no matter the course you want to study. Just
can I take this question? Someone says, I'm currently a final year student, undergraduate student in Nigeria. Can I apply for a master's program in the US with the ongoing strike? That's a very intelligent question, because you don't have to allow Nigeria, like the systemic application, to store your life. But the thing is, you need your transcript to apply. So what you can start doing now is start preparing your documents, start reaching out to your lecturers. This is time to build relationships. I'm going to link this one, that question about recommendation letters. A lot of people is when they want to come to the US pursue their graduate studies, they start looking for lecturers or write recommendation letters. At that time, the person will just write that you're hardworking and you're a student in the school. But you need somebody who's going to write more than that. So as an undergraduate in final year, this is the time to start making friends with your lecturers. Not just any lecturer, someone whose recommendation will be respected. First of all, your project supervisor should be like your closest friend at this time. If you are the type that has issues with your project supervisor, you have maybe reads and all of that, try to start smoothing it out, because that's one of the main persons that will give you a very good recommendation. So start working on getting recommendations, start looking at GRE materials. Start looking at GRE materials. Then as you graduate, start working on getting your transcript. It is not funny getting transcripts in Nigeria. We don't want to overemphasize that point. So as an undergraduate student, as you're graduating, start looking for how you can get your transcripts ready, so that by the time you're going for your NYSC, you can start actual emailing of professors and then applying to schools.
There's a question here. Mr. Gibbs,
Sorry,
hold on.
can I say something on the transcript thing? Because of for those coming from Nigeria, because of the peculiarity of the Nigerian system with transcript, there is something I did that helped me. I also faced that bottleneck of getting transcript. But what happened was, I kept a very good track of my results from my first year to my last year, because I was so much conscious about what I'm going to finish with. So I have a good record. I have a place where I record all my results. So when I finished, when this transcript issue was just becoming unbecoming, I had to go back to all the record I had. I compiled my own transcripts, put it there in spreadsheet and everything, because I have all my grades and my letters and my scores. I track them. I put it down there. So I was able to design unofficial transcript. It's unofficial. As long as I'm concerned, unofficial is unofficial. There's nothing like official, unofficial. I don't understand that language. So I designed my transcript because I have a good record of my results. That was what I used for my application, is unofficial transcript. Now, when the whole thing was approved and everything, admission, my school had to send, and it's the same thing, because the same transcript, the same result, the same record. So you may want to begin to think about how to help yourself out, so that the situation back home in Nigeria cannot be a hindrance to you. All right. So that's just what I want to say.
Thank you so much, Bro Justin.
Okay.
Now there's a question.
I also want to say something about the transcripts. Yeah, I remember during my own application as well. You can, because a lot of schools in Nigeria now, they have a website where you can check your results. You can directly print all your results from your first year to your last year and use it to apply. So when you get admission and funding, then you can go through the process of asking your school to send a transcript to the US.
Thank you so much. That's great. Also, there's a question here. Are there agricultural courses in the US? The answer is yes. In fact, Mr. Gift is a PhD student in animal sciences. I don't know what course you studied, agri-economics, agri-extension, soil science. There are beautiful funding for you here. Please come in.
A lot of funding. A lot of funding.
You get stipend. You are fine. Please come in. There is the possibility of going for a PhD directly from bachelor's degree. In fact, the possibility is high. Profemi from his PhD.
Yeah, I think I can talk from my experience. I came directly into a PhD program from bachelor's.
Yes.
And it's not that difficult. There's no special requirement. The key to doing that is actually, it depends on your program. For engineering students, sciences, and the likes, getting a professor is the important part. In the US, as I know, PhD programs, the admission authority is in the hand of the professors. Once they are interested in getting you in, you are in. So if you are looking at getting a PhD program from your undergrad, you have to really put in a lot of effort into contacting professors that have interest in your area. And once you get them, they are the ones that have the authority to take you into a PhD program. And sometimes if you meet the requirements, it works. Even if you don't, though, that is a special case, because some students, maybe you have a skill that the professor is interested in, or you have something you know that will benefit their lab, they can still take you in, even if your grade is low. But that is not like that. It doesn't happen every time. So you don't have to bank on that. So the key to getting a PhD from undergrad is going through the professors.
All right, there's a question here, like getting transcripts, must we go for service years to be able to further our studies?
Actually, you don't, like NYSC and applying to schools, they are not the same thing. If you have NYSC, it's good. If you don't have to do it. If you want to do it, you can do it. In my case, I haven't done my NYSC yet. So you can always do it later if you want to. It's not that important. And you can start your NYSC as well and be processing your application. They don't affect each other.
All right, as an undergraduate, can I have food funds scholarship? I think we've talked about it. Yeah, you can have a full fund.
Yeah, we already talked about that.
Right.
Yes, you can. I've seen a lot of people get full funding for undergrad. And sometimes you can get like full tuition waiver. It depends on your profile, and also it depends on the school.
Yeah, somebody there is asking, please, I want to ask if there are music schools in the US, I would like to come and study music. The answer is yes, yes, yes. You can study music in the US, and you can even get funding, please. And also, somebody is asking a question. I'm in honor level, still struggling with second semester due to ASU strike. Can I apply with my GP? Profemi?
Yeah, I don't know about undergraduates with like first year, because I think I know someone that did something that is close to what we call direct entry in Nigeria. The person had an HND from Yabatech, and he was able to do a transfer. Though he's no more a student of Yabatech, he has like the diploma already. Then he used that to start from second year, because he did West, and I remember West evaluated that as an associate degree. And in the US, I know if you have an associate degree, you don't have to start from your first year. So in that kind of scenario, the best thing is actually going to the school and you ask the program coordinator, this is my situation, and do you take this kind of certifications? I'm in my first year in Nigeria, can I transfer? And bulk of the work also depends on your school in Nigeria, because if you are transferring from Nigeria, they have to send your transcripts, they have to release you as well. So I don't really know much about that, but it's not impossible. It's still possible.
Please,
you just have to put in extra.
Thank you so much, Brofen. I want to say these two things, please, in case it has to do with you. In the US, I tell you, even with 2-2, second class lower, I'm telling you, they are able to get to the US with full funding, please. And also, you don't have to be a lab-related, you don't have to study a lab-related course before you can come into the US with your BSc or a PhD. Even with psychology, philosophy, sociology, name it, those humanities-related courses, you can come right from your BSc, even for a PhD. I know somebody with a 2-1 that is from BSc now, probably now on a PhD in the US. So please don't let the course you studied make you feel bad or something. Let me tell you, there's no course you study in probably your own country that you cannot get, a funded opportunity here in the US. And also, please, I
want to add a bit
Go
to
ahead.
that. Yeah, if you are actually worried about your grade or your program, first thing is, in the US, there's money for everyone. Because like some days ago, I came across a lady on YouTube that got funding from 5 schools for English language. And nobody will probably think like, oh, there's money for English people. There's money for everyone. And if you are worried about your grade, maybe you have a 2-2, you have HND, you can always go for West. In the US, there are schools that take 3/4 because as CGPA is on 4 scale. That's like the minimum requirements. If you have 3, you are qualified. But the problem with having a low grade from Nigeria is most of the schools don't understand our grade. Because, for example, in my department now, if you want to have an A, you have to get 94/100. And if you send your transcript from Nigeria, from your school, and they saw a C here is actually a fail. They might not understand. So what you need to do is go through West. West has actually evaluated a lot of transcripts from different countries into the US system. They understand all those discrepancies and how to translate your Nigerian transcript to the US system without any problem. So that's a way. If you have a 2-2, if you don't have a strong 2-1, normally what I advise people is if your GP is less than 4 on 5 and you're applying to like average or high school, like all those ambitious schools, you can go for West. it will be beneficial to you, because what the school does that I know is when they get your transcripts, they try to convert it in-house to the US system. And the conversion will just be on their understanding of how grading is in Nigeria. They might not understand everything. So you can use WES to actually scale that aspect of it.
Brother Victor, are you there?
Sorry, we scheduled 1 hour for this program, and this is almost 1 hour 30 minutes now. I know question can be answered on our Telegram group. It just because we have some schedules and things that we need to get ongoing now. We have a church program today, and we just we'll be rounding up this program in the next 5 minutes. But before we do that, I think we're gonna have a little short message of 7 minutes that we're gonna play. So we believe that with all the effort that you are doing and with every input you are putting in, we believe it's only God that can really make things out. So it's like without salvation, without God, it's a very, very difficult challenge, and all very, very hard for people to get success. Even here, even when you get over whatever you have, please, God is the most important thing. So with that, we just have to cut the question and answer time now, but please, we have the avenue for you to ask your question on the Telegram group. Post your question, we answer, and we follow through. And also we also post the Google form link for you to fill out so that we can follow you one-on-one. And please don't think that this is only for Nigerians. Don't think it's only for Christianity, but because we are working with everybody. So please, also I'm just gonna share the message now so that we can we can enjoy the message from our pastor. Thank you.
Out of all hypocrisy, whatever you are outside, the righteous, be like that inside. Whatever you are on Sunday, and you're giving your heart to the Lord and singing to the Lord and worshiping the Lord, be like that during the week. Whatever you are, when members of the church are around, you say, I cannot do that, I cannot do that, I cannot say that, because members of the church are around. When the members of the church are not around, and you're all alone by yourself, to say that we're children of God and we practice holiness means when people are not there, we're still going to live the life that a child of God ought to live. We're looking at Luke chapter 12. Luke chapter 12, I'm reading from verse 16. Luke chapter 12, the fatal deception of the hope of hypocrites. Luke chapter 12, verse 16. And he spake a parable unto them, saying, the ground of a certain rich man brought forth plentifully. And he thought within himself, saying, what shall I do? Because I have no room where to bestow my goods, my fruits. And he said, this what will I do? I will pull down my barns and build greater, and there will I bestow all my fruits and my goods. And I will say to my soul, soul, thou hast much goods laid up for many years. Take thine ease, eat, drink, and be merry. That's what the people of the world call success. Success without salvation. This is what they say will give them happiness. I've gotten this, I've gotten this, I've gotten that. Bank account here in Nigeria, bank account overseas, houses here in Nigeria, houses almost in every part of Nigeria. In the north, at the capital here in Lagos, and then in the east, I've got houses there. Here is what they call achievement without salvation. Here is what they call success. Here is what they call making it. They said that man has made it. If you follow him there, he's not in need of anything. Anywhere he goes, he has an account he can withdraw from, and is not in need of anything at all. And so he says in verse 19, and I will say to my soul, soul, thou hast much goods laid up for many years. Take thine ease, eat, drink, and be merry. You go to such a person, you're talking about being born again. You go to such a person and you're inviting him to come and hear the word of God. They look at you from the top to the bottom, from the head to your toe, and they look at your dress and they put their hand in their pockets and they give you maybe 5,000 naira. They say, hey, go and spend this one. You know, church, what am I going to look for? All you people that go to church, you're looking for money, I've got it. You're looking for land, I've got it. You're looking for house, I've got it. You're looking for property, I've got it. So what am I going to church for? They don't understand that money does not satisfy the soul. They don't understand that sand and cement will not settle you and build a mansion for you up on high. And so the man said, I will say to my soul, soul, thou hast much goods laid up for many years. Take thine ease, eat, drink, and be merry. But God said unto him, what will God say unto you? I've got this. What will God say unto you? I belong to this church. What will God say unto you? I worship. What will God say unto you? I'm sacrificially giving everything I've got. That's not the important thing. What will God say unto you? I'm rich. I have need of nothing. I have all the clothes and all the fashions you could think about in the world. That's not the point. What will God say unto you? But God said unto him, thou fool, thou fool. A rich man, thou fool. Educated man, thou fool. Highly placed man, thou fool. A person that had more than enough of these world's material things, thou fool. It says, God said, thou fool, this night thy soul shall be required of thee. Then whose shall those things be which thou hast provided? You cannot take 1 naira out of 1,000,000,000 naira that you have. You cannot take 1 naira out and get beyond the grave. It's useless. All the houses, you cannot take the title deeds. You cannot take anything away, because at that time when God says come over, you leave everything behind. You know, somebody died and another person was asking, how much did he leave behind? They said, why are you asking? He left all. He left all behind. And the people who are chasing shadows, those who are chasing the mirage of life, and they want to be here, they want to be here, they want to be there. All they're looking for is what eyes can see. They want to build that, and that's my house, and that's my mansion, that's this and that's that. It says, when you are to be carried out of that house, who shall those things be that you have labored for? And it says, so is he that layeth up treasure for himself, and is not rich towards God. I pray that will not be your lot. You'll not die inside money, and yet you don't have a mansion in heaven. You'll not die inside riches and wealth, and yet you do not have a place in heaven. You'll not die popular here on earth, and then in heaven nobody knows you. You give your life to the Lord. You surrender completely to the Lord. And then in your mind, there's no hypocrisy, but holiness unto the Lord forever and ever.
Thank you so much. It's a great pleasure to listen and to know that this word is in vain without Christ. So just to reiterate those things we've said so far, our Telegram group. It's very, very active. We post links, we post, things that will be helpful, like textbooks and all those things, material that will be helpful for you. And just to let you know, if you're joining us, maybe you've not, started with us, we said we are not affiliated with any embassy. We are not affiliated with any visa processing company or something. We are young adults under the auspices of Deeper Life Bible Church in Manchester, New Hampshire, so in USA. So, and we thank everybody for coming over today to listen to, hear us. It's a great pleasure to answer and to put you through. So please also know that we also have commitments. So there may be a delay in answering your question or doing something. So please don't be mad because we got some schedules that we know we're working with, but we're working along with you, and you know that we always gonna give you the best. And I don't know, maybe anyone have anything to say? Do you have anything to say, Sister Esther, or Justin?
Yeah, Bro Femi, please can you post the YouTube link?
Yes, because this is recorded, so just give us a minute. We post the YouTube link and in our Telegram, so we get you set. Thank you.
And secondly, please kindly fill the Google form, and we hope you will be able to join the Telegram group, because from there we should be able to offer more support and guide. God bless you.
All right, so we just want to know that if you don't have the chance of, attending this one, it's not like a yardstick that, oh, if you don't attend us, you cannot be attended to. No, you can share this information with anyone that doesn't have the opportunity of attending this webinar. We are willing to help, so please feel free. Sister Gift, are you have anything to say before we round
Yeah, I
up?
want to say that the Google form, because a lot of people have left the meeting, we have just a little over 100 participants left. So we'll post the Google form in the Telegram group so that everybody can have access to it. We post it here, not everybody will be able to fill it.
All right, with the absence of nothing to say, we want to appreciate everybody. Dr. Gengaja, you want to appreciate your facilitator. We want to appreciate as many, I cannot mention their names here. Our pastor here, so Pastor Emmanuel Adekoya, want to appreciate you because he called me earlier on that I want to be here, and but I don't think we were able to let him come in, but it's a good man to meet. So I'll just say that's what I'll just say about that. So we want you to please apply to New Hampshire if you really want to come to school. We have a great school, great resources, nice weather, and please feel free to reach out to her. And we love you, and God cares for you. Thank you. Bye.